Off the coast of New Jersey, where the Atlantic meets the mouth of New York Harbor, a narrow strip of sand reaches northward into the sea. Sandy Hook. For 400 years, sailors have used this hook as a landmark, a fixed point in a changing world. But long before any ship passed these shores, this stretch of coastline belonged to something older, something wilder. Every March, they come back. Northern Gannets, one of the largest seabirds on the Atlantic coast, wingspan of nearly 6 feet, weight of a healthy house cat, and a dive that has no equal in the bird world. They have spent the winter scattered across the open ocean, from the outer banks of the Carolinas to the warm shallows of the Gulf of Mexico. But now something ancient stirs, a pull northward, toward Newfoundland, toward the cliffs where they were born, and Sandy Hook sits directly in their path. What has drawn them to linger here, just offshore, is not the migration itself, it is the bunker. Atlantic menhaden, herring, moving in schools so dense they darken the shallows. The same rich waters that pull striped bass toward the hook each spring have sent a signal to every gannet within 50 miles, and they have answered. What you are watching is one of nature's most precise acts of violence. A gannet spots its target from 40, sometimes 100 feet above the surface. In an instant, it tucks its wings flat against its body. Its neck straightens, its eyes lock, and it falls. 60 miles per hour into water. Air sacs beneath the skin absorb the impact. A transparent inner eyelid shields the eyes at the moment of entry. The bird drives deep, sometimes 20 feet below the surface, using its wings as fins to chase the fish into the dark. In less than 3 seconds, it is airborne again. There are no stragglers here, no lone hunters. Gannets are communal foragers. When one bird dives, others see it from a distance and converge. What begins as a handful becomes hundreds. Hundreds become thousands. On this morning off Sandy Hook, scientists would estimate several thousand birds working a single bait school, a living, crashing, churning spectacle that most people who live within 20 miles of this coastline will never see. By April, they will be gone. North to the sea cliffs of Newfoundland and Quebec, where they will nest in colonies so dense the rock itself turns white. They will raise a single chick, and when autumn comes, they will make this passage again, in the other direction. But for now, on a cold March morning, the Gannets own this stretch of the Atlantic, as they always have, as they always will.